remembers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, we're into hour number 3. We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. The governor's gone here in about 14 minutes with us. This incredible information coming out from NIST, and it's all bombshell. You know why they covered it up. There's the evidence of the criminality right there. This is just so incredible. I want to get to Jack Kelly, a news reporter on the ground, also talking about bombs and explosions. This was on CNN. But going back to Governor Ventura briefly, where does this start for a new investigation? How do we expose this big lie?
It's difficult because, you know, you saw the new administration come in and, you know, with Obama, and they won't touch it. You know, they won't look at it at all. So that clearly shows you that, you know, it isn't Democrat against Republican here. You know, because if the Democrats had any way, if they truly were at war with the Republicans and they could expose the Republicans for an atrocity as large as this, you don't think they would? So that clearly shows that they're both in it, that the parties don't really matter. And I guess where do we go from here? I would tell people, you know, any grassroots thing starts at its lowest level. That's why it's called grassroots. Even in your local elections, stop voting for Democrats and Republicans. That's a very simple thing we all can do. November 2nd is just next week. Don't vote for Democrats or Republicans.
Well said. And before you leave us, you'll briefly talk about Tom Horner there running for governor. He's got a shot at it. Let's go to this next clip. Jack Kelly, bombs in the buildings on CNN. Here it is.
Joining me is Jack Kelly. Now, he is a foreign correspondent, war correspondent, and just came back from Israel. He has some information about these attacks. Jack, what can you tell us happened first in New York?
Apparently what appears to happen was that at the same time 2 planes hit the building, that the FBI most likely thinks that there was a car or truck packed with explosives underneath the buildings, which also exploded at the same time and brought both of them down.
Now, that's the first time we're hearing that. So 2 planes and explosives that were in the building. Is that correct?
That is the working theory at this point. That is still unconfirmed. That is
so they never discredited the working theory. They just said it didn't exist. And then this is stuff.
Ignored it, Alex.
Yes.
They just ignored it. That's what they do with anything that doesn't fit into their scenario. They simply ignore.
Now, here's another clip we're just going to play. You know what? I'm not going to have time to. I've got all the local newscast with witnesses saying bombs going off and firefighters and people. And then I've got another newscast before the plane hits, seconds before you hear the clear explosion. Then the plane hits. It just goes on and on. I want to come back from this quick break and get into the classic stuff. Building 7 on BBC, where they say it's already fallen when it's right behind them. I want to get into Larry Silverstein saying we gave the order to pull it and watch it come down. But we got about a minute and a half left in this segment. What about more marches for 9/11 Truth? What about more people going public? Grassroots?
Well, that might work, but you have to remember the mainstream media is not the ally. You can march all you want, but if they don't cover it, then the only people that know a march took place are the locals.
Well, that's why you're...
Why do you think... What do you think happened prior to the invasion of Iraq? There was a great deal of anti-war protest and marching, but you never saw it on TV because the TV stations, mainstream, refused to cover any negative about the invasion of Iraq because they wanted to portray to the public that nobody was against this. How could you possibly be against this? And if you were unpatriotic, and that's exactly what they're able to pull off.
Well, that's why you're so important. You're one of the few national figures who's got the courage and the profile to be able to punch through mainstream media, and you tell it like it is when you're on television, and it has a big effect. And we see 9/11 Truth only growing bigger and more people coming out, Governor.
Yeah, that's true, Alex, but if you notice, I'm getting censored more and more. The access that I had 2 years ago, I had way more 2 years ago than what I'm getting now. I'm being cut back, too. I can't get on all the shows I'd like to get on anymore.
Especially the big Fox shows. We're going to come back and play a few more of these key clips with Governor Jesse Ventura. This is incredible new developments, folks. Get it out to everyone you know. 9/11 search term, 9/11 cover-up. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Hello from eFoods Direct. The end of October is around the corner, and there's no shortage of frightening news these days. Global financial meltdown, saber-rattling with Iran and other nations, worldwide drought and food shortages, more than 40 million Americans on food stamps, and tens of millions unemployed. Have eFoods Direct help ease your fears this fall season with free shipping on all orders placed between now and November 1st. Every dollar you spend will buy food, and eFoods Direct will pay for the shipping throughout the continental United States. When you have a supply of delicious, nutritious food from eFoods Direct, your future is fearless and the shipping is free. That's free shipping on all eFoods Direct food products. Call 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex. That's 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
The key searches today to make them #1 on Google Trends, 9/11 cover-up and Conway cover-up. We'll talk about the Kentucky situation. It is big. After Governor Jesse Ventura leaves us, I'm going to finish up, though, with some of these clips we didn't have time to play while he was with us. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds others. That's what's so frustrating, Governor, is it's hidden in plain view. And we've got to expose these people. I mean, do you agree that if we don't expose the system that's doing this, that they're going to continue to use fake terror as a pretext to enslave us?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, and the thing that's most frustrating is mainstream media. I mean, I guess, you know, when I do my publicity for my show, I've been taking a different tact. I've been going on and thanking them because I thank them for covering whether pro athletes cheat on their wives, the death of Anna Nicole Smith, and all that important stuff. Because I said if you covered the things we covered, me, my crew and production company wouldn't have jobs. I always make sure to thank them for providing jobs for us, because I'm just baffled, Alex. It's beyond words how our mainstream media, which was designed to be the fourth branch of government, the unwritten fourth branch by our forefathers, their job was to be the check, to be the watchdog and watch the other three branches of government and keep them honest. And now that they have sold us out, we are in dire straits, Alex, because with mainstream media ignoring things like this, these stories should be the lead stories on TV right now. And yet, where are they hearing them? Not to downgrade you and I, but the only place they're hearing that is on your radio show and a few other non-mainstream outlets.
Well, the ruling class, the elite, the social engineers, wouldn't have staged 9/11 if they weren't confident in their superiority over the mainstream media. But we do see the mainstream media losing ratings, viewers, and in national polls, the public trusts the alternative media a lot more than they do the mainstream media.
Well, and that's clearly shown when the most trusted man, hands down, above all others, with double-digit win, is Jon Stewart.
And he's making a joke about things.
Well, Jon Stewart's show is comedy, yet it's serious comedy because he does it with a comedic intent. But what he talks about and the position he takes are very good. And that's why when I was at Harvard, Alex, I asked all the Harvard students where they get their news from, and it was like 90% of them all said Jon Stewart.
Yeah, he's better than some. The problem is it's kind of a liberal perspective, but he will cover topics others won't. We're almost out of time. I want to play two final clips and then talk about the TV show and also the governor's race up in Minnesota that you're involved in supporting Tom Horner. But first, let's go, because you mentioned this earlier, we're pulling this up. Let's go to Jane Stanley of the BBC, and they did it on their other BBC channel at the same time live. This is BBC World. It was also on BBC 24. Another reporter being fed, and they now admit Reuters gave them this, that Building 7 had fallen perfectly in its own footprint, the Solomon Brothers building, before it actually fell. Here it is.
World Trade Center. As you can see behind me, the Trade Center appears to be still burning. We see these huge clouds of smoke and ash, and we know that behind that there's an empty piece of what was a very familiar New York skyline, a symbol of the financial prosperity of this city. But
so meanwhile, right behind her is Building 7, and she's saying it's fallen, Jesse.
Yeah, that's correct. She talks about it for over 7 minutes, about the third building that has collapsed, that wasn't struck by an aircraft. And the entire time she's talking, Building 7's right behind her, because she actually did this 30 minutes before the building actually fell.
And the same thing was on CNN with Aaron Brown. But just like with NIST suppressing their internal videos that show the same thing, BBC for a year said that was fake. And then they said, okay, it's true, but we lost the tapes. Now they've done a special and have admitted it, but just say it was a coincidence. Last clip with Governor Jesse Ventura, because he mentioned it. Here's the owner of the World Trade Center lease, Larry Silverstein, saying they gave the order on Building 7 to pull it, demolition term for controlled demolition, and they watched the building come down. Here it is.
Allowing occupants to evacuate to safety.
I remember getting a call from the fire department commander telling me that they were not sure they were going to be able to contain the fire. I said, we've had such terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
Did you know a Fox News reporter wrote an article 3 months ago and admitted he was with Silverstein, and they made the decision to pull, but then decided not to. So now they admit they were planning to blow it up. But wait, Silverstein gave this interview a year after and said they pulled it. I mean, Jesse.
Well, you know what I like about it, Alex, is they now use the terminology pull it meant to pull the firefighters out. That's the excuse they use for it. But you notice he says pull it and then ties it right into the bringing the building down, because that wasn't the intent of what he was talking about. He was talking about bringing the building down. But in order to cover themselves, they've now stated that Silverstein was simply stating the fire captain, when he used the term pull it, meant that they were going to pull all the firefighters out, that it was a lost cause.
Well, there's just one problem. We happen to have the New York City logs. The firefighters were pulled at 11:23 in the morning, more than 5 hours before the building fell.
Yeah,